and off the I guess the GPS. I never researched that, how all that works. But yeah, they've been obviously been doing it for years and years and years. Probably even mechanical stuff, even more mechanical than just lock the yoke and it just slides straight and then you unlock it or whatever. Maybe that was earlier autopilots or whatever. But interesting stuff. And I always have a little ear towards you and Craig's avionics stuff. I haven't done hardly anything anymore. Have hundreds and hundreds of hours of rotorcraft. Never a pilot. It's always a left-seater and research and development with microwave and whatnot. So, and frankly, I haven't been up in probably easily 5 years. I've been doing all the ground stuff, looking at the telemetry coming back to me on the ground and stuff, and troubleshooting from that angle. But if anytime I wanted to go up, I could go up. But we have 3 helicopters at our disposal. But I just pretty much will work with the folks on the 2A and look at the telemetry coming in and try to troubleshoot. But sometimes you just can't do it. Especially when they say can't hear the 2A radio, the FM or whatever. It's like, come on. So that's going to be the next venture, I think, even Craig, to I'm going to have to fly and see what their UHF FM stuff is having problems with, because it should be working. I checked all the antennas out on the ground, but they just keep on having problems of not hearing it. W6MCD, WD2K.
Yeah, okay, real good. Jim, it goes over to you, K6MOX. Go ahead and take it, W6MCD.
Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, it's okay, no worries. Just sitting here relaxing, looking out the window. And, sad you missed the free flight delay K6MOX XC2. Sad you missed the free flying lessons, and wow, that would have been awesome. I got the ground school for free, but the flying part was $10 an hour back then, and as cheap as that sounds now, it wasn't doable then, so it didn't happen. But it just turned out the extent of my flying goes with one wing in the air and one wing in the water as a fin, and windsurfing, and so that's the extent of my flying. Anyways, Craig, I'm going to give it over to you. I'm going to sit back and do a couple things here with Lorena and also in the kitchen. But I'm going to be listening on the side, but I'm going to go to standby mode and listen as my brain kind of fades away and I get a little bit sleepy to be coherent. So, Craig, good to talk to you guys tonight, and I apologize that I miss now and then. I just forget the time. It's past 7 o'clock before I know it, and I'm kind of time irrelevant, so I apologize for being kind of spotty. Anyways, it's good to hear you guys as always, so take it easy, and I'll be on the side listening for a bit as I do some kitchen stuff. K6MOX XC2. Talk to you soon, Craig. And the guys.
Jim, that's only 100 watts?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. We're so loud up here. Okay, go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, and it's a mobile antenna. it's a screwdriver. Unreal.
Yeah, he's so loud up here. I would swear he was running at least 500.
I think it's the salt water that is a stone throw away.
Could be, man. Yeah, actually, you're louder than Craig.
Well, I'm not doing anything on purpose, but I can't believe that I'm actually here. And the question somebody asked Walter your favorite place, and I don't have the experience and haven't been to many places, but I can't believe that I can actually say where I'm at. Best place I've ever been in the world, and my favorite place I've ever been in the world. Yeah, I miss the ferns and the redwoods and the sequoias. That I did miss a bit, but this is definitely, I could answer that question with here, which is pretty neat to me. Anyways, take it easy, guys. I'm going to go back and rest my brain. K6MLX-XC2. Back to Craig.
Yeah, very good. Well, we'll have to talk some more about your antenna and your installation, but we'll do that another time. You go there, spend some time with your lady and whatever you wanted to get done. And let's see here. I don't really have much more either. I already told you I went flying, and just been goofing off. This afternoon. I was over at Ralph's earlier in the week picking up groceries, and they had baby back pork ribs on sale for $4 a pound. They look pretty good, so I bought a package of them. And I got some dry rub. And today I put the dry rub on them and slipped them in the refrigerator for a couple hours. Then wrapped them up in foil and put them on the barbecue. Cooked them for about 25 minutes on fairly low heat. And then unwrapped them and browned them. And they were really good, Steve. You ought to try that if you haven't. Go ahead.
Yep.
Okay, now you're making me hungry, and it's past my supper time. So I'm going to have to bail out of here in a minute, but hey, I'm glad you got in the air and had a good flight today. I suppose you checked your iPad installation out, and I'm sure it worked fine. And yeah, that's good to hear. By golly, you need to go flying anytime you can. And I'm sorry I missed the flight yesterday in this Malibu, but I'll try to catch the next one. But yeah, anyway, that's about all I have too, guys. I need to get over and pick up a little supper, and so I'll probably go ahead and sign off for now. And I think Stephen was asking about these servos and the way they work. Well, yeah, in this particular airplane and most airplanes with an autopilot, they have a pitch servo and a pitch trim servo. And the pitch servo, of course, grabs a hold of the pitch cable that connects to the control wheel, and it makes the airplane go up and down as the autopilot commands. And if the pitch gets into an attitude where it has too much effort to hold it in that attitude, then there's switches inside it that make, and that's what was wrong with this particular servo, is it had a bad switch, intermittent switch. And anyway, this switch will make contact. It'll tell the pitch trim servo to run until it gets the effort or the load off of the pitch servo, and then it quits running. So yeah, in this particular case, it had a pitch servo that had the bad switch and the spring that's associated with the switch. So once we got that fixed, they went right back to working like a champ. So that's kind of the way they work, Stephen. And in fact, I'll turn it on over to you. WHCIK, it's KN0FMY, and I'll probably be signing off after this time. But if you have any more questions, come right back at me, and I'll sure try to answer them.
Okay, Steve, KN0FNY, WHCIK. I get it. That's very interesting how they do that. Interesting, yeah. Even, just the cruise control on cars, too, it's pretty slick how smooth it's kicking in and kicking out and stuff like that. But this is even more involved because you got, I guess I don't know if it does the throttle, but at least it does, X and Y, but doesn't do Z.
Okay, you're talking about the autopilot controlling the throttle?
Yeah, does it handle the throttle too, or just bearing and stuff?
Well, when you get into more products, I mean, greater, how do I say it, complicated autopilots, yes, they do have speed control and throttle control and the whole thing, but in these little airplanes like this, they depend upon the pilot to handle the throttle and to keep for too much speed or not enough speed. And yeah, you just have the pitch. For instance, the pitch system, you have, like I said, you have the pitch servo and the pitch trim servo. And I forgot to mention the pitch trim servo. It grabs a hold of the trim cables, which you have a little trim knob up in the cabin that gives you pitch trim. So as you can manually control it. As you feel you've got too much effort to hold the airplane in a certain attitude, you can reach down and spin this little trim knob, which will run a little tab back on the elevator and take the effort out of your hands, you know. So, and that's what happens in the airplane. It actually works a little trim servo until the effort is taken off the pitch, or the main pitch servo. But the throttle control, that gets into some pretty complicated autopilots, and that usually comes about in, I don't even think they have them in some of the light jets. You have to get into a pretty heavy jet before you pick up that type of autopilot. Go ahead.
Right. So there's no, the pilot has to still do the throttle, but it just, you know, I guess pick a heading or whatever, and it just keeps that heading going. I like to say pitch and yaw or whatever. No, probably not a yaw. Just you know, left to right, up and down, and so if the pilot, you know, pulls back on power, it's going to go nose down, and does it try to compensate for that?
Yeah, it'll try to. If you pull the power back, if you have altitude hold engaged, it'll try to maintain the altitude until the airspeeds get so slow, and then you better be for putting some power back in or disconnecting the autopilot. But yeah, it'll hold altitude. This particular aircraft had altitude pre-select, where you could pre-select what altitude you wanted to go to and engage that. It would climb to. You have to control the throttle yourself. It also has an indicated airspeed mode where if you want to climb at a certain speed or descend at a certain speed, it'll do that. And then as far as the roll part of it, the heading, they have a heading bug on the directional gyro that controls the heading, so you dial up what heading you want to go on, and it'll come right out and roll out on that heading and stay there. And then it also has radios, navigation radios are coupled up to this autopilot, to where if you want to fly a certain course to a VOR station, or if you're flying GPS, it'll also do that. So yeah, it's a pretty handy little unit, and it takes a lot of the load off the pilot. So that's the kind of way that works, Stephen.
Yep, I understand totally. That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, the old VOR. Yeah, those stations are all over the place still. But very good. All right, Mr. Steve. Thanks for the update, and yeah, I appreciate the info. Yeah, I'm so removed from all that, lately, and I never did any of the autopilot stuff. It's just all gyro stabilized cameras and microwave antennas and stuff like that. And Craig has gone through all this crazy stuff over the years too, and it's in the avionics, we just hands off and just let the pros do it. Go ahead. I just threw it up there. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, okay. Real good. Well, Steve, I missed most of what you said because Stephen was doubling with you, so I was chatting about trying the baby back ribs. And I know you answered me, but I don't know what you said. So maybe you can summarize that quickly and then go do your thing. KN7FMY W6MCD KN0. Yeah, I was just saying that you're making me hungry now, you know, and it's past my supper time, so I'm definitely going to be ready to eat. And I think I mentioned that, yeah, I'm glad you had a good flight. You need to go flying anytime you can. That's a great fun. And boy, it's nice to have your own airplane. You can just go to the airport and open the door and go to flying, you know. And I'm assuming that your iPad installation probably worked out okay, and that's kind of what I think I remember saying. So over to you, Craig. Yeah, very good. Yeah, the iPad thing worked out well. I think I might reposition it slightly. I didn't get it quite at the position I wanted. If I get lucky, it'll mean nothing more than drawing an extra hole in the mounting tab. But yeah, it works just fine where it is. It could be trimmed a little bit better, put in a little more optimal spot. But it works. There were a couple of things on the ForeFlight down at the ledger on the bottom that give you ETA and ETE and distance and ground speed and all that stuff, and those are all settable. And I had forgotten to set those where I wanted them before I took off, so I was fooling around getting that scored away a little bit when I was going up. But then on the way back, I had them all set on the ground where I knew I wanted them. So I guess that's it from here. I think there's a bowl of mint chocolate chip ice cream in my future. So 7-3's Steve, and Steven, 7-3's to you, and Steven, I'll kick it back to you and let you say your 7-3. WD8CIK W6MCD.
Okay, doing a foot drag there. You never know. W6MCD, WD8CIK. Yeah, I know Steve, FNY was up in Lake George. We were up there about a month ago on our way to Colorado. It's kind of cool, but I don't think he was up there at the time. And I missed your couple, Craig, I missed your couple of things at 20 meters. I could do 20 meters during the day at work, Monday through Friday, and over here I could do it, but I got so much, yard work I'm doing. I got 19 valves, inline valves I'm working on. I did 3 tonight, and I got 3 cutoff valves through different sections. And one of the valves I replaced, it's probably got a lot of dirt in it, so now all those valves downline are starting to leak because they got a little sediment in it. So that's my that project today. Well, actually I'm done for today, but tomorrow. So I wasn't ignoring your 20-meter thingy there. You guys have a good evening. Jim. Yeah, you need to take pictures of that installation. It's really getting out for 100 watts. WD8CIK, just throwing it out there. I'm not sure who else is around.
7-3, guys. W6MCD. Hey.